Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Virtue's Last Reward, episode 43 I reckon. Last time we discovered that Dio was the one that was responsible for the death of the old woman at the start of the game. And to restrain him we've put him in one of the treatment pods next to Quark and locked it so he can't open it from the inside. We also discovered Quark is in one of the treatment pods. I guess every time he goes missing he is in one of the treatment pods. And he is probably been getting treatment to reduce the risk of his Radical 6 progressing. What else have we found out? Also, Alice and Luna are currently dead in this timeline. I think we're gonna wait until the it's not the Amberdex gates. Is it just the Amberdex doors? Is that what they're called? We're going to wait for those things to open before we let Dio back out, because we do need his bracelet to get through the chromatic doors, is what they're called. We're going to wait for the chromatic doors to open before... We've got to wait for the chromatic doors to be ready to open before we let Dio out. I got it, right? Okay. So Dio's like, open this fucking thing. I said open it, goddammit! I don't think so. Rah! You're gonna pay for this! When I get out of here, I'm gonna fucking end you! So, now that that nastiness is away, I guess we figured out who the murderer was. And we found Quark. Now, all that's left to do is find Clover and Temioji. Yeah. Why don't we head back to the warehouse and start from there? They may have already returned. Good point. Let's go. Here we are at Warehouse B. Huh. Looks like they aren't back yet. Perhaps they went to look for us. Oh man. Now we've got to go look for them. How much time until the white doors open? Are they going to be dead? And if they're dead, that means that Dio didn't kill them? Presumably, because Phi was with him and we didn't kill him. Sigma and K didn't kill him. 50 minutes. Then I don't think we really need to hurry yet. Why don't we wait a little longer? For all we know, they're on the way back right now. Kay and I nodded. By the way, there was something I wanted to ask you about. Ask you guys about. Oh yeah? Yeah, Quark's bracelet. When we found him in the pod, he wasn't wearing it. Why? How should I know? Presumably it had been taken off before we found him. So we've no idea where it is? Pretty much. I see. That's not good. Without that bracelet we won't be able to continue this game. What? We need 3 bracelets to open the secondary door. If we lose one... Oh no, we won't be able to go through the secondary door. Yeah. Who'd be pairing up with Quark? Quark's bracelet should be a red solo. That would mean he'd be with the Cian pair. Who's the Cian pair? Clover and Temioji. 2 people who are missing. Quark's bracelet is gone and his 2 teammates have disappeared. What's going on? Does that mean Clover and Temioji took the bracelet? Well, if they found Quark before you did, yeah, there's a good chance they did. Then, why aren't they back yet? Perhaps they're already gone through the white door. What? No, that's not possible. The primary doors haven't even opened yet. Perhaps, someone opened one of them. How? I don't know. But it's happened before. Remember the 3 doors on the other side of the green door? Someone made one of them open. Perhaps this is the same thing. But that's against the rules. Yes, I know. But if the person opening the door is Zero Senior, do you really think the rules matter? Zero Senior controls the entire game. So you're saying Clover and Temioji is Clover or Temioji is Zero Senior? It's a possibility. It would explain why they still haven't shown up. Could they really have taken Quark's bracelet and gone through one of the white doors? If they did, we won't know where they went until the doors open for the rest of us. So I would assume. This is still all just speculation though. Maybe we should go look for them again. One of us can stay behind so that we don't miss them if they come back. Okay, I'll stay. Sigma and I will go see if we can find them then. Make sure you get back 5 minutes before the doors open, alright? Oh, and don't forget to bring Dio with you. Of course. When we get back to Dio, he's going to be dead, isn't he? This is the pantry. So it would appear. Well, looks like they're not here. When we started looking for Quark, they were sent off to search everything beyond the red door. Which would mean, this room. Not going to do us any good hanging around here, though. Let's head upstairs. Very well. Okay, cool. We're always checking this lounge, aren't we? No one here either. Huh. Tomioji loves scotch so much I thought we might find him here drinking some. It was around that time that I noticed Kay was acting strangely. He was staring at the shelf of alcohol in a way that I would probably have described as blankly, if I could have actually seen his eyes. Hey, what's up? You want a drink? Oh, no. Well, I would enjoy a drink, but this mask. Right. Sorry, that sucks. Honestly, I'd gotten so used to the suit I'd kind of forgotten you were wearing it. Why the heck did they make you wear that thing anyway? You still don't remember anything. Well, actually, I did remember a little. Really? Yes. What did you remember? My father. When dad you remember that? Did it just pop up out of nowhere? Is that a typo? Is that intentional? Because that's weird for it to just be that one time. Please don't joke. Oh, okay, cool. It was supposed to be that. This is serious. Sorry. So, you remembered who your father was? Yes. What about your mum? I Don't seem to have one. Oh, so your dad raised you? Well... Kay stopped for a moment, then calmly folded his hands in front of him. Okay, cool. I was raised in the facility where my father worked. Is he supposed to be, Zero's son? He was the only person who worked there, which meant he was the only person I saw until I was older. That had been the situation for as long as I could remember. So I never thought it odd. He wouldn't allow me to go near him. While he was working, he wouldn't allow me to go near him while he was working, but the only times he wasn't working were the times when he was sleeping. As such, the only communication I had was with the education software he'd given me. I suppose I was fairly expressionless as a child then. We developed body language to communicate with others, and with no one else to communicate with, I suppose it makes sense. Once I learned to read and write, I began to realize that my situation was not normal. Many of my books mention a mother as part of my family, and in several, the mother, father, and children would eat meals together and talk to one another. Soon I found myself longing for a mother of my own. Someone who would always be with me, who would scold me if I did something wrong. At night, they would read to me before bedtime. If only I had a mother like that, I thought. I'd be so happy. So for the first time in my life, I asked my father for something. He had finished working and, as usual, was making his way toward his bedroom when I stopped him and asked for a mother. He looked at me silently for a long moment before finally responding, "Okay." I remember to this day how happy I was at that moment. A few months later, he called me into his laboratory. It was the first time he'd ever done anything like that. My heart was beating quickly as I stepped inside. Standing next to him was a young woman, and my hopes soared. But when he said her name, or rather her ID number, they were dashed. He'd given me a robot to play the part of a mother. I didn't want a mother that was just a machine, who did what a human told her to. When I told my father that, he looked surprised for the first time in my life. When he frowned, coughed, and admonished me for being a whiner. Is there a chance that K is actually a robot? And it's not an actual mask? He never scolded me for anything before. At first I was surprised, then angry. Hot tears streamed down my face. My father ordered the robot to take care of me, and shooed us out of the lab. The robot was very convincing, and she smiled and spoke as if she was a real person, but I refused to answer her and locked myself in my room. You can talk to a robot, and it will respond. But in the end, you're still talking to a machine, not a person. If that was what I'd wanted, I still had the education software my father had given me. When I ignored the robot as it tried to take care of me, it looked sad. It couldn't really be sad, of course, it was only programmed to look that way. A robot's facade of sadness didn't mean anything to me. After that, I stopped expecting anything from my father. We'd never really spoken to begin with, so it was easy enough for me to make sure we never saw one another. I lived my life as if he didn't exist. Perhaps it seems strange to you that I continue to live with him, but I never considered leaving. Perhaps in the hidden depths of my heart I longed for a relationship with my father. Everything changed when I was 18. I left my room one morning to find a woman standing outside of it. She was the first woman I'd ever seen, apart from my father, and I was understandably surprised. For a moment I thought my father had created a new robot, but when I told her that, she laughed and explained that she had come to help him. As it turned out, it was a very mysterious person. She was much older than I was, but something about the way she behaved was almost girlish. She would tell me stories about the world outside in such a way that I was never sure if she was telling the truth or making up fantastic lies. Ultimately, though, the truth didn't matter. I loved her stories. She wasn't helping my father directly with his research, so I spent most of my days with her. Before long, I discovered she'd known my father when he was young, not very young. She told me stories of how he'd fallen in love as a younger man, and I began to imagine that the person he'd fallen in love with had been her. Oh, is it supposed to be... No, because it's not Temioji, is it? Or is it? And that she was, in fact, secretly my mother. After she settled in with us, our long-established routine began to change drastically. First, we started to eat together. Before then, I had never shared a meal with anyone in 18 years. She scolded me for my table manners. Or more accurately, the lack thereof. If I was going to eat with others, she said I would need to be more polite. Having eaten alone for my entire life, manners had never been something I'd even thought about. My father got in trouble too, when he made the mistake of reading through research papers during dinner. The look of surprise and embarrassment on his face made me burst into laughter. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shared a laugh with my father. It might have been the first time. The room we considered our living room changed too, before it had been another room, but she made it comfortable. After we finished our dinner, I'd sit on the sofa and relax with her and my father. Those times were the ones I cherished the most. For a little while, every day I got the family I'd longed for ever since I was a child. For a little while every day I got the family I'd longed for ever since I was a child. Okay. It's a weird sentence, right? It's not just me, is it? At her suggestion, I started to help with my father's research. He specialised in genetic engineering, and I discovered I had an interest in it as well. Time faded away as I lost myself in research. Now that we were working together and studying together, my father and I had a great deal to talk about. For the first time in my life, we began to speak with one another like a father and son. Whenever I impressed him with something I'd learned, I felt a surge of happiness, and it drove me to study even harder. My days felt full, bright, and meaningful. Most importantly, I was happy. Is this the old woman? I don't know who this is. It's supposed to be Zero Senior, maybe. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye, until one day I happened to overhear my father and the woman speaking in the laboratory. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer, curious to know what they were talking about. That was when I heard her say that she planned to give her life to achieve their goals. Oh, okay. Interesting. It was clear that she wasn't being metaphorical. She would have to die. I was in shock. The research I'd thrown myself into would lead to her death. I asked my father to stop his research immediately. He refused to listen. She agreed with him. She told me that she'd been prepared for what she'd had to do since the day she'd come to our facility. My father had known about it from the beginning as well. Angry and disappointed, I began to investigate what exactly the research I'd been helping with was working toward. Perhaps I thought I could figure out a way to keep her alive. I discovered much more than I'd bargained for. To begin with, I learned that the ultimate success of my father's research would require a good deal of sacrifice. And I also learned that my own existence was just another part of his project. I'd been created to function as my father's spare. If he died during his research, I was intended to continue in his place. I was stunned. I was furious with my father and with her, and even with the research I'd poured myself into for 4 years. There was only one thing to do: destroy the facility and end my father's horrible research once and for all. I made plans to destroy the main reactor, and with it the entire facility. But she saw right through me. My father was livid, and locked me in my room until his research was complete. All I could think of was how I might stop him. She did her best to convince me that I'd misunderstood, that everything would be fine. As much as I wanted to believe her, I remembered in the back of my mind that she'd been the one who pushed me to become involved in my father's research. Had that been an earnest desire to give me something to do with my life? Or... Still, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. She'd given me a reason to live. Even if she conspired with my father to mould me into his replacement, the warmth she'd shown me had been real. She'd made me feel as if I had a real family, and that was something I wouldn't have given up for the world. I pleaded with her to leave, but she quietly shook her head. There was someone very special to her, she told me. He'd saved her life once, and she felt her death would help to repay that favour. Yeah, it's gotta be Akane talking about Junpei, right? Who is Temioji? Right, okay. She would have liked nothing more than to marry him and live a happy, normal life together, but she couldn't. For his sake, she said, and for the sake of the future she'd wanted, she was determined to see my father's research succeed. I realised then that although she was the most important person in my life, there was someone more important than me in hers. She tried to explain that beyond what we could see was a future where no one would have to die. But I refused to listen. What good was a potential future to me? It was what I had now. It was what I had now that I wanted. Oh, I see. It was what I had now that I wanted. I see. Cool. I couldn't stand to think that she would give her life for a man I'd never even seen. So I shut myself off from the world. Perhaps that is why I lost my memory. Well, that was a long story. There's a lot of details that you remembered there, Kay. Kay let out a deep, tired sigh. I'm, sorry. I lost track of time. It's okay. Not having any memories is less than desirable, but it could be argued that regaining them is almost more taxing. So, you remember almost everything? No. The details are still indistinct. Especially more recent events. Huh. Sigma. I'm sorry, but would it be alright if I laid down for a bit? What's wrong? I don't feel very well. It must be because I remembered so much so quickly. My head feels like it's going to explode. Are you okay? Yes. I think I just need to rest. Okay, take as long as you need. I'll go look for Clover and Temioji myself. I'm sorry. Thank you. Kay lowered himself heavily onto the red sofa in the corner of the room. Well, guess I better get moving then. I stepped out of the room and nearly ran into Phi. What are you doing? You're supposed to be waiting back in the warehouse. Yeah, I know. I just decided to go check on you guys. I waited a long time and nobody showed up. Judging by your face, you haven't found them either. Damn. Yeah. Where's Kay? He's in the lounge. You decided to split up? Well, not quite. Instead of waiting for my answer, she opened the door to the lounge and walked in. Is he not there? What's up with him? I guess he's not feeling too well. He said he wanted to rest for a bit. Is he alright? I think so. We should leave him alone right now, though. Remember, there's a real person inside that suit. I'm sure he's just tired. Tired, huh? How are you feeling? What? I feel tired just looking at you. Your face is like a week-old sock. Really? Well, I guess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little exhausted. I mean, all of a sudden I wake up trapped in some weird-ass game and then dead bodies start turning up. Honestly, I'm amazed I've managed to hold on to my sanity for this long. Just about everything here makes absolutely zero sense. The more I try and figure out any of it, the more I feel like my brain's just going to melt and run out of my ears. You know what I'm talking about, right? We managed to figure out who the killer was, but there's still 100 other questions we've no idea about. Where the hell are we? Why are we even here? What's the whole nonary game thing for? And what is Zero Senior up to? Hell, how about who Zero Senior is? The rabbit said he was one of us, but... Do you think it's Dio? Who knows? Besides, we still don't know why Dio killed them. He said he was ordered to do it, but... And there's more, too. What about the old lady? Who is she? What's her deal? Hell, what are any of our deals? I don't know jack shit about anybody here. I don't even know anything about you, Fi. Are you serious? You can't honestly suspect me, can you? No, that's not it. I'm just like you. I was kidnapped on December the 25th and brought here too. She trailed off. What was that? You heard that, right? Yeah, it came from the hallway. Let's go have a look. It's like gunfire. There's nobody here. Maybe they got on the elevator. Let's try hitting the button. If the door doesn't open immediately, then we'll know that the elevator's downstairs. They had gone downstairs. Thought so. Let's go, gamers. Which way? Where do you think they went? Let's just head for the green door. Why? Because the treatment center's there. That's where Dio and Quark are. So? You aren't worried? I just want to make sure they're safe. They're fine. Temioji and Clover probably made that noise. Well, maybe both of them. But I don't think they'd hurt Quark or Dio. Are you sure? Huh? Dio admitted to killing the old woman, but he still insists that he didn't kill Alice or Luna. What if he's telling the truth? Are you serious? You're going to believe him? It doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that they're safe. No harm in being careful. Alright, fine. Treatment center. They're all dead. We headed to the first pod. I cracked open the top and lifted it back. Is it empty? No, he's still there. There was Quark, sound asleep. See? Yeah, I guess you're right. I was probably getting worried for nothing. How about Dio? Let's open his. Seems like a mistake. He's been strangled. What the hell? Did we kill him because there's no air in there? Check his pulse. It was pointless to check his pulse. He was obviously dead, but I did it anyway. Yeah, he's dead. Look. The oxygen level for this pod says 0. Then that means he asphyxiated. But why? Someone must have tampered with the pod and lowered the oxygen levels. Who? Look. We should go tell Kay about this. Come on, let's go. Without waiting for me to follow, Fi turned and ran off. I took a deep breath and followed. Fi and I burst into the lounge and ran up to Kay. Kay, wake up. Something's happened. When he didn't move, I grabbed him by the shoulders and shook. He twitched and quickly sat up. What is it? We explained about how we'd found Dio dead, and how it looked like he died of asphyxiation. It appeared that someone had reduced the oxygen level of his pod to 0. What? But why? I thought that Dio was the one who killed the old woman, Alice and Luna. Then who killed him if he was the murderer? The only people who could have done it are Clover and Temioji. There's also Quark. What? No. That's impossible. Are you suggesting Quark woke up, opened his pod from the inside, killed Dio and then went back to sleep? No, I'm just saying that strictly speaking it's a possibility. So just, take it into consideration. That was like a message directly to the reader. In that case, Fi, I hate to say it, but doesn't that mean you could have done it? Me? Yes. You could have done it at any time after Sigma and I left the Floor B warehouse. Don't give me that. I was waiting for Clover and Temioji to show up. They never did, though. So I got impatient and waited for you guys. Went to find you guys. Then I bumped into Sigma in front of the lounge. She went on to explain about the sound we'd heard. I see. So you heard something. Then perhaps it's likely that Clover and Temioji were at fault. Were the two of you together the whole time you were investigating? Yes, we were. You never split up or anything? Nope. In any event, we don't have a great deal of time to discuss it. Oh crap. We've only got 7 minutes until the primary doors open. Alright. Let's get back to the Floor B warehouse. Maybe Clover and Temioji are already there. Oh. Where is Dio's bracelet? His what? Huh? You didn't take it. Dio was a green solo. Fi and I are the magenta pair. Shit, you're right. Without Dio's bracelet, we won't be able to open the secondary door. I fear not. Then we need to hurry. We'll drop by the treatment center on the way back and grab the bracelet. It's going to be missing, isn't it? All three of us don't need to go. You two go on ahead. I'll get the bracelet. Alright. Oh, one other thing. I need to give you these. The yellow pair bracelets. Were these Alice's and Luna's? Yes. Without these, you'd be stuck. So, here you are. Please take them. I grabbed the bracelets and shoved them into my pocket. Alright, let's get going. Shit. They're not here. Maybe they did go through the door like Kay said. With Quark's bracelet. Or what? Oh, come on, man. You better not give me that crap. No. You better. I went like this. You better not give me that and then just jumped here. You better not give me that. Maybe the already dead crap. I got enough of it from Dio. You've got to be kidding me. This isn't funny, Fi. If you're right, then you, K, Quark, and I are the only people still alive in here. Hey, lay off. I want to believe they're alive too. But we heard a noise and turned. Is it K? There he is. I apologize for keeping you. Did you get Dio's bracelet? Well, technically yes, but best you just see it. This is what I found in Dio's pod. Oh, it's been broken. What? What the hell? I assume whoever murdered Dio did this. But why? There's no point. I can't say for sure. But if I were to guess, it's to stop us being able to go through. Is that what it is? Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close. With a bracelet like this, I doubt we can get past the secondary door. That means Kay and I will... Oh no. Shit. You're gonna...
When the time comes, those 3 doors will automatically close. If anyone's left outside after they close, they'll be penalised.
I see. That's what they wanted. Whoever killed Dio wanted to use the game to kill me and Kay. That's why they broke the bracelet. I think so. It makes the most sense. How can you be so calm? In 5 minutes you're gonna be... Go on ahead, Sigma. You have those bracelets Kay gave you, right? You should be able to get through the secondary door with those. So just... Fuck that. You know I can't just ditch you guys like that. But if you stay here, you'll... You think I don't know that? What kind of a monster am I, if I just leave you here to die? Ah! God damn it! This was bad. What was I going to do? I needed to calm down. Just calm down. Calm down and think. There had to be a way to save them. There had... Is there a way to save them? Oh, we got another pause here.
The first is an anaesthetic called Sopril Beta. The other is a muscle relaxant called Tobacarine. Your bracelet also has a bunch of needles on the inside. If you break the rules, your needles pop out and inject you.
My brother told me about that. Neostigmine is a type of chloransterase inhibitor. That means it's a sort of antidote for tubacarine. I knew it! Give it back. I found it, so it's mine. Open the first lock. Cool. Of course. The antidote. The antidote. I didn't have time to explain. I took off running toward the exit. That was weird. Never had that before. Sigma, where are you going? Stay here. I'll be right back. I bolted out of the warehouse toward the treatment room. Wee wow. think Dio put it in his pocket. Come on, come on, come on. Please still have it. Sweat was pouring down my face, but I didn't bother to wipe it off. There wasn't time. I dug frantically through Dio's coat until... Aha! Found it! Oh. There's only one dose. The injection guns used the whole bottle at once. Shit. I can't save both of them. You can duplicate it, can't you? 1 minute remains until chromatic doors close. 1 minute! Shit! I spun around and shot out of the treatment center. Three, 2, 1. Chromatic doors closing. No, you gotta be kidding me. Oh dear. Sigma. There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. It's an odd sentence, isn't it? First would be the anesthetic sopral. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor. No. I couldn't fall asleep. I had to give one of them the antidote before my bracelet injected me with turbocararine. With every ounce of strength I could muster, I forced my eyes back open. Kate and Phi lay limp on the floor in front of me. In my right hand I could feel the injector gun, with its precious cargo. I could only pull the trigger once. Who was I going to choose? Phi? Or Kay? No, what was I thinking? There was only one answer. Phi. I didn't even have to choose. I didn't have a choice. After all, Kay's entire body was covered in impenetrable metal. I'm sorry, Kay. I summoned up as much energy as I could and dragged myself toward Phi. After what felt like an eternity, I was finally within arm's reach. With no time to waste, I pressed the gun to her arm and pulled the trigger. Sigma, what the hell did you... I injected you with the neostigmine. It's a type of cholinesterase inhibitor. It's the antidote to the muscle relaxant. Why did you pick me? Because I can't use the injection gun on Kay. It'd never get through the metal. Then, why didn't you inject yourself? Huh. Guess you got a point. Honestly, didn't even cross my mind. You are the biggest idiot on the planet. Hey, come on. Is that any kind of thing to say to someone who's about to die? How about something more tender? No. Screw this. I don't want to live if it means being in debt to you. No goddamn way. I'm not gonna... Her words slurred and slowed and her eyes fluttered closed. She wasn't dead, of course. I could hear the faint sound of her breathing and see her chest rise and fall. Good. Phi's gonna be alright. Okay. I looked over in his direction. When did we get... I guess this is... Trying to think of when we got the actual key. I don't think we have it, do we? I looked over in his direction and that's when I noticed it. Open. There's a hole here on the back of your head. Yeah, it looks like you insert something. It says open, so maybe if I put some kind of key in there. You could open the suit and take the mask off. Wait. Then he... But when could he have... Oh, it's on open. It's empty. Yes. Was there something in there before? No, it was empty when I found it. But what if he'd lied? Could Kay have taken the key? How he'd gotten it didn't really matter anymore. What did matter was that Kay had been able to remove his armor. And he had. Holy shit. Then, that would mean Dio's killer is... I coaxed as much strength as I could from my increasingly lethargic body and crawled toward Kay. Kay, wake up. Come on, talk to me. I grabbed his shoulder and shook him until he finally shifted and spoke. Sigma. I just need to know one thing. Did you kill Dio? You weren't sleeping, were you? After I left, you took off your armor. You didn't want to go through the same way I had. So you took the other door. After you went the long way around through the warehouses and the crew quarters, you headed for the elevator. I mean, that is a long way round. I bumped into Fi and we went back to the lounge to check on you. We saw you. Or we saw your armor, I guess. By then, you would have been out of it. While we were in the lounge, you went to the treatment room and killed Dio. You must have turned off the oxygen to his pod. Although you probably didn't stick around to make sure he died. I'm betting you were in a hurry to get back before Fi and I noticed something was up. Once you got back to the floor A, you needed us out of the you needed us out of the lounge, so you made a noise in the hall to lure us out. I guess that makes sense. Then you ran around and took the long way back to the lounge so you could enter through the rear door. Once you were there, you put your suit on again and waited for us. As soon as we found Dio's body, we did exactly what you'd expected. Okay, wake up. Something's happened. You pretended to wake up very disoriented and confused. What is it? Come on, Kay. I'm almost out of time. Did you kill Dio? Yes. Your reasoning is correct. I killed him. Why? Because I couldn't forgive him. He took the life of someone very important to me. Yeah, so that was his quote-unquote mom. I couldn't... Who did he kill? The old woman. What? She was like a mother to me. She showed me how to see meaning in my life. Wait, are you saying? Yes, I am. Of course. She was the woman who came here when I was 18. Whoa, hold on. What do you mean here? Sigma. Unfortunately, we are out of time. There's something I have to tell you. I made a promise that you would hear it. You understand? This is very important. You must pay attention. You cannot forget. Forget? It wasn't making sense. I was about to die. How on earth would I be remembering anything for more than a few seconds? If you see a lion with two heads devouring the sun, remember these letters. Milkevoli. This will open the second gate. What the hell? Hey! Kay! Who told you to tell me this? No. Who are you? Show me! Show me who you really are. I grabbed a hold of Kay's mask and tore it off. Who is he? What? No, that's impossible. That face. Who is it? Is it me? It's my face. I felt a sharp pain in my left wrist and my body collapsed unceremoniously. The second drug. Tubercularine. My vision began to blur and my head felt unnaturally heavy. The world faded away and my consciousness slipped down into the cold, dark waters of nothingness. Whoa, okay, that's a reveal. Holy shit. Credits? K end. Cool. Wow, okay, well, who would have thought that? K, turns out they look just like me, and are me? Then what am I? Okay, interesting stuff. Well, we are out of time, so thank you so much for watching this episode of Borderline Games, and specifically, Virtue's Last Reward. I will see you next time. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.